Here to tell us more is a Keego Harbor resident, Bill Bertakis. Bill, thank you for being on the show today.
Good morning, Tyler.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about this because this is a big deal for people in Keego Harbor because that Rite Aid is right in the central part of town. It's at Cass Lake and Orchard Lake Road. That is a major area of the heart of the lakes, and so many people in Keego do get their prescriptions from that Rite Aid. Now, what are your initial thoughts on the closure of this location?
Here we go again. Nobody likes change. It was very convenient for me. The last, maybe not 6 months, but the year before that, I was very ill. And the people in the pharmacy area really took care of me, made sure I was getting the proper stuff and my over-the-counter stuff. And thank goodness I'm in good health again. And but it was just very convenient. And, Keego's only a half square mile. And to lose a big chunk of it, we lost the school, we lost the hardware store, lost the Coney Island, and oh my goodness, it's too bad. And then I also heard that, your prescriptions are going to move to Walgreens on Telegraph and M59. I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing that again. Make 2 left turns on major roads. Yeah. I did that with my bank. What a pain in the butt. With the PNC, where the Duncan was. Sure. And I should have switched right away. And it's really inconvenient. The bank is going to be really inconvenient to get prescriptions. Luckily, the CVS is nearby. Right. Easy in and out. I went there just to check them out, to sign up, and like the staff. So that's going to be, it'll work out. A little inconvenient, but not too bad.
Yeah, that seems like the natural place that a lot of people in Keego may go because it is maybe a quarter mile, half a mile up the street on Orchard Lake Road. It's in a busy area. It's not necessarily easy to cross that street and get there by car and certainly by foot during busy times of the year. But, this is, as you mentioned, it goes back to a lot of the winds of change in Keego Harbor with this Rite Aid that was that location built there in 2000. That's a big opening there in the city of Keego Harbor. What sort of chatter has there been between yourself and other residents about what maybe they would like to see go in there now that that's going to be an open spot?
Well, the cool thing about it, I remember the builder, Al Mansour, he talked, instead of making it look like the standard Rite Aid with the blue and stuff, he made it out of the brick. It was the first one to have that look. And every new store went up wanted that look. And the city council and the residents were really happy, the architecture of it, and, I'm not sure what's going to go in there. I went up and down Orchard Lake Road last week from Home Depot to Commerce, and I counted 39 businesses closed. Wow. And, and it's hard to get something to eat after 9 o'clock, and Sunday and Monday, forget it. Trying to get something to eat, and it's just tougher and tougher. And, a lot of people have their life depending on their prescriptions here, I know how they feel, and I don't know. You had a good staff there. I hate to lose them. That's terrible. But,
so in these final days, Bill, as we get set to say goodbye to that location of that Rite Aid on Orchard Lake and Cass Lake, do you believe that the people of Keego Harbor are ready for that next step? Have people been prepared for what they need to make sure they still get those prescriptions? Because as you said, there are a lot of people that relied on that location being that close for things they needed every single day.
Yeah, and you know what? I bet you 15% of the people in Keego don't drive. And being walking distance is huge too, or bicycle distance. That's probably a big factor too. I don't know. When things are vacant, it doesn't attract businesses. The one thing too I've noticed, like I have neighbors that have a store in Grosse Pointe, and they have 18 blocks of residents. Here in Keego, you can't go towards Cass. You can't really go maybe 3 blocks to Orchard, and you go the other way, you hit Sylvan. It's not really deep with residents, the neighborhood. So, offices are more likely, if it had a grocery store, I don't know if it could support it. There's not enough people here, and not enough depth in the neighborhood. So a very fine niche of businesses can fit here. I said the same thing about that new bakery there next to Rite Aid or next to Early Bird. I went in there. That place was beautiful, and business is huge.
It is.
Canera,
Yeah,
Canela, Canela. I went in there for the first time Sunday. I love it. And look, just some innovative thinking by one guy made a gym. So, maybe one guy with some good background can do something with it. Nobody wants vacant buildings.
And we've seen that time and time again in the city of Keego Harbor and in the greater West Bloomfield area. Someone has an idea, they have a vision for a place that's important to people or a place that's interesting to people in our community, and it takes them that step forward. And we have a great business community here in the greater West Bloomfield area, and that includes in Keego Harbor. I mean, just earlier on this week, the Geno's Tigers trip happen, and we have the Geno's Car Show coming up. We have great support from B1 and from Jaybird and so many other businesses. So hopefully that's what we'll see more of in the future. Bill, any lasting thoughts on this, as this is a big change in the community and will start affecting residents here in the coming days?
I don't know. I just was so comfortable going in and out of there. Polite staff. If I need just something small, like if you need 1, 2 things, you're not going to go to the grocery store. You go to, that's more of like a convenience store, and it's just, another hit we got to take. The biggest hit I ever had was when the hardware store closed. But the movie theater closed, the dollar show, and hopefully the economy will pick up and some investors will come in here. The slider place there that really had no name, I called it Keego Slider, that closed. But hopefully the economy will turn around and it'll be thriving again. It was a fun town when it was thriving, and good for people like Geno's that has things for the residents to do. The Tiger trip was last night.
Yeah.
And we took a group picture. We got it on Facebook.
Yeah, we showed that earlier on in the program. For those that want to see it again, civiccentertv.com. You'll be able to find that on demand. Bright days ahead in the city of Keego Harbor. It's a great location there, and I'm sure that there'll be plenty of opportunities for some great things to happen in that location at Cass Lake and Orchard Lake Road. Again, the Rite Aid location in Keego Harbor, one of 165 as of earlier on this month that were announced by Rite Aid to be closing in the state of Michigan out of 185 stores. Bill, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, always a pleasure, sir.